It's 7:30 and you're welcome to ABS TV News. Making the headlines tonight, state government sets aside 50 million naira to support ABS Film Academy as 27 graduate. Group calls for abolition of caste system in Igbo land. Senior officers in the defense and the army headquarters redeployed, and on the foreign scene, Indian women arraigned for carrying a dead baby into a plane. My name is Chidima Oranwan. Now the news in detail. State government has set aside the sum of 50 million naira to support ABS Film Academy in film production. Governor Willie Obiano disclosed this during the graduation ceremony for the pioneer students of ABS Film Academy held at the ABS headquarters in Oka. Government House correspondent Kene Chukwuofoma has the rest of the story.
The academy, which is fully an ABS initiative, commenced earlier in March this year with 35 students who were taken through a 3-month training course in various aspects of filmmaking, including directing, script writing, cinematography, makeup, special effects, animation, broadcast journalism, among others. At the end of the course, 27 graduated, having produced 5 films, some of which have been shortlisted for international awards. Governor Obiano, who commended the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the ABS, Nzeuche Nwora, for the initiative, said he had envisioned the ABS to be of like standard with internationally notable broadcast stations and has put in huge amounts of money to digitize the station. He said his government is working through the Ministry of Diaspora Affairs, Indigenous Artwork, Culture and Tourism to establish shooting locations and movie villages in the state to give impetus to efforts at harnessing the prospects in the entertainment industry. The governor charged the graduates to emulate renowned actors who have made their mark in the movie industry to be able to go far.
So it's important to show courage. That can-do spirit is what will take you anywhere in the world. Don't be afraid of anything. Whether you've got a level playing field or not, go there and conquer. That's the spirit. And you can do it. So it's very important that, this culture is done. We're also putting some infrastructure to assist you.
The Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Mr. Sidon Adenoba, said there are plans by the state government to include training on entrepreneurship in the curriculum of the next batch of students of the academy, noting that the program is a typical example of the governor's stance on doing more with less.
Some other states in Nigeria are trying to encourage the entertainment creative industry, but nothing on the scale of Anambra State. What other states are trying to do is to turn their states into mini Jamaicas, where you have only entertainers. Anambra State is the governor of Anambra is trying to turn Anambra into California.
In a good way message, the Commissioner for Basic Education, Professor Kei Tomenoga, urged the graduates to develop passion for the industry and channel their creativity towards addressing societal problems. Earlier in a welcome remark, the Managing Director of the ABS, Nzeuche Nwora, noted that the academy, which is practical-based, had sourced resource persons from within and outside the ABS to train the graduates, adding that the initiative was envisioned to give vent to the creative abilities of youths in the area of film making.
There's so much the state can do with the ABS Film Academy if the state throws its weight and support behind the academy. And what are we asking for? Look at the facilities we have, and these are facilities that we have to source from people that we know. So the academy requires editing suites, requires laptop computers. The academy requires a bus because the students do go out on filming projects outside, so they need a bus that will be taking them around. So on that note, I want to also finally thank all our partners, the ABS Board of Directors and the Board of Management and the whole staff, everybody associated with the academy for all their support.
In a message, veteran actor and ex-broadcaster Chief Pete Edochie acknowledged that what the state government under the leadership of Governor Obiano is doing in exploring the abundant talent that are abound in the state's entertainment industry will make the state a hub for creative economy in Africa. Presentation of certificates to the graduates by the governor, as well as display of some of the short films produced by the students, formed the high points of the ceremony. In Oka, I am Kene Chukwuofoma, reporting for ABS News.
After 3 months of intensive academic work, trainings and practicals, 27 pioneer students of the ABS Film Academy have graduated with certificates in different skilled areas of script writing, cinematography, broadcasting, journalism, and other ancillary courses. David Okpokosile reports the speakers at the event sought ways to harness the rich youth potentials in the state to broaden the creative film industry in the state. His report.
The academy, which has existed for just 3 months, has 3 of its short films nominated in an international film festival, My Road and Reel Film Competition. The maiden commencement ceremony attracted the bigwigs in Nigeria movie and film industry, including veterans Pete Edochie, Bob Manuel Udokwu, Tony One Week Monago, Yul Edochie, top government officials, and more than 14 members of the State House of Assembly. The chairman of Anambra State Youth Empowerment, Entrepreneurship and Creative Council, Dr. Nick Okoye, announced that the council is already making inroads to create cinema in all the local government areas of the state, which will become a marketplace for the movie industry in the state. Dr. Okoye announced that on his part, the Nick Okoye Entrepreneurship Initiative will grant a yearly 500,000 naira award to best graduating students of the academy who excel in entrepreneurship.
Anambra can actually accommodate 50 community cinemas, 50 community theaters. So what we intend to do is to partner with the private sector to build those community theaters. Once those community theaters are on ground, then it becomes easy for people like you to get a job because the demand for movies and content will be overwhelming. We are also working with the Ministry for Basic Education, where we want to involve all the Anambra citizens from all over the world to come back to Anambra and mentor young people every single year on a quarterly basis.
Other speakers, including Commissioner for Youth, Entrepreneurship and Creative Economy, Dr. Bonaventure Enemali, Member Board of Director of ABS, Mr. Marcel Manafa, and Mr. Ekeren Baro, a film and cinema industry executive, advised graduating students to put into work all they have learned to contribute positively to the society.
This is actually to show the direction His Excellency is going down. Many people will be coming to Anambra State because we have the highest force of people who are in creative industry all over the world. And we are trying to drive them in, and many of them are willing.
This is most exciting, sir, and to have you here, your vision, seeing it happen, a mustard seed growing in this big. Interestingly, a few months ago, I was speaking with a studio executive out in California, Hollywood, and I showed them the pictures of the ABS TV and radio. They couldn't believe that it was Noka, because that can sit anywhere in the world.
Some of the graduating students, Emeka Momezie, Grace Okole Emmanuel, and Judah Onyogo, portrayed in directing and acting, could not hide their joy for the opportunity granted them through the ABS Film Academy. In Oka, I am David Okpokosile reporting for ABS News.
The 2018 Bag B Corps members deployed to Anambra State have been sworn in at the ceremony held at the NYSC Orientation Camp, Umunya, Oyilaka Government Area. Correspondent Oladike has the details.
Governor Willie Obiano, represented by the Commissioner for Youth Empowerment and Creative Economy, Mr. Bonaventure Enemali, congratulated the prospective corps members on the successful completion of their various academic endeavors, which qualified them for the national service. He urged them to use their intellect, energy, speed, education and training to help realize the collective dream of giving Anambra a global outlook. Governor Obiano assured the corps members that government will continue to provide enabling environments for youths to maximize their potentials and implored them to exhibit the highest degree of loyalty, dedication, discipline and commitment to national ideals.
It's a rare privilege for you to be posted to Anambra State, because after the 21 days training and you go into your place of primary assignment, you will see how hospitable the people of Anambra State are.
Also speaking, the NYSC State Coordinator, Mr. Kehinde Aremu, said the total number of corps members posted to Anambra State was 2,000 and assured them that NYSC and Anambra State governments are ready to take care of them during the orientation course, since the state has the best staff to manage youth.
Perhaps the best members of staff who have been trained on youth management. So many people wonder how we manage the youths and their diversity and their intricacies, but we are trained, and I have the best of staff here.
On her part, the camp director for 2018 Batch B, Mrs. Maureen Okala, assured corps members of adequate security during the orientation exercise, but cautioned them to obey the camp rules and be the chief security officers of themselves.
Lectures will start tomorrow with traditional lecture to know the tradition, custom, ways of life of the Anambarians, our taboos, the culture, what they are expected to know within any place they are posted to.
From Umunya, I am Oladike, reporting for ABS News.
The Coalition Force Against Caste System has called for total abolition and rejection of caste practice in Igbo land, as it is against both human rights and divine laws. This was the unanimous call by the group at a one-day program held in Oka. Our correspondent Emmanuel Koko was there and now completes the report.
The event, which attracted both members and non-members of the association from within and outside the state, was an opportunity for them to rub minds on how best to permanently terminate Osuka's practice in Igbo land. In an insight on the program, the Bishop Emeritus Anglican Diocese of Isikwuato Umunnochi, Right Reverend Sam Chukwuka, explained that the essence of the event was to seek better ways of winning the war against the obnoxious tradition which, according to him, portrays Ndibo in bad light before other races in the country.
From what we have seen now, we cannot be discouraged. We have been advised from a few people that came what we will do. The resolution we have taken is that we continue to fight this battle. We will meet these Igwes in person.
Presenting a paper on why is Osukas continuing in Igbo land, the director, Institute of Theology, Paul University, Oka, who is also the retired bishop, Diocese of Niger West, Right Reverend Professor Anthony Nkwoka, said it is barbaric, retrogressive, hypothetical, and shameful that the tradition still exists in Igbo land after over 160 years of the emergence of Christianity and over 60 years of its abolition in the land, and call for all hands to be on deck in the fight against the phenomenon he described as outdated, outlawed, and unchristian wickedness. In their various reactions, some legal practitioners, Dr. Dave Ezeigwe and Honorable Justice Cecilia Uzewulu, noted that the practice is unlawful and punishable by law as it has been abrogated years ago, encouraging the group to take the message to the grassroots in order to enlighten people on the implications of the inhuman act. On their part, Right Reverend Menesas Okere of the Diocese of Isikwuato Umunnochi, Right Reverend C. Okeke, among others, regretted that some Christians still compromise on the issue during marriage and urged them to retrace their steps as the practice is idolatrous and against God's law, which requires equal love for all humans. The group later reached a resolution to continue to fight against the obnoxious tradition until it is totally eradicated from the Igbo land.
Ihiala Local Government Council has presented awards to some workers who distinguished themselves in service delivery. The award, witnessed by Commissioner 4 in the Local Government Service Commission, Lady Rosalini Fezlike, at the Council Hall, cuts across all categories of workers, including junior workers and management staff. Paul Ezeko was there and now reports.
The awardees were presented with both certificates and cash prizes for distinguishing themselves in hard work, punctuality, dedication, and consistency, among others. In her speech, the Commissioner 4 in the Commission, Lady Rosalyn, said the exercise was in line with the policies of the Commission towards rewarding hard work to encourage efficiency and higher productivity. She extolled the Transition Committee Chairman of the Council, Barrister Ifeanyichukwu Odimegwu, for his various initiatives and innovations geared towards transforming the Council, and urged the workers to continue to give him total support and cooperation.
It's a good lesson for every parent, for every teacher, for every superior. Encourage your workers. Those who are doing well, make them to know that hard work is necessary and commend them. Even if you don't have money to give them, just acknowledge the fact that they've worked hard.
Presenting the awards, the Council Chairman, Barrister Odimegwu, said the awardees were selected by various committees constituted for the exercise and approved by his office based on their visible contributions towards achieving the goals of the Council.
He explained that he initiated the reward system to combat and reverse the culture of duty apathy and to encourage workers to aspire towards excellence, since good governance requires the contributions of leaders and followers.
When there is a good leadership and there is no good followership, the tendency is that there is a breach, because the leader cannot do what the followers will do. Neither will the followers do what the leaders will do. So the leaders will do their own, the followers will do their own, and then you have a result, positive one.
In their separate remarks, the head of local government administration of the council, Mrs. Shinyere Nkannebe, and the treasurer, Mr. Sanwo-Obi, said the award is a morale booster that would inspire workers to put in their best, urging them to sustain their support to the administration. The Noge chairman in the council, Comrade Amaka Asewu, noted that the council chairman, Barrister Odumegu, has brought a new dawn that repositioned the council, urging workers to reciprocate the gesture. In their reactions, the member representing Amam Ward B in the council, Honorable Ben Alawu, and his Uli Ward 2 counterpart, Honorable Kasmia Chukunanu, said the initiative will help promote industrial harmony. Some of the beneficiaries, including Mrs. Ifeoma Esiene and Mrs. Felicia Nwokolo, while thanking the chairman for the award, assured that they would work harder to justify the confidence reposed in them. Highlight was presentation of the awards. From Ihiala, Paul Ezoke, ABS News.
The story on army redeployment and more comes your way after this timeout. Join us again.
If you don't get money, hide your face. You can call me small doctor. Omo ya teacher. What's the bad penalty you're throwing?
The smartphone network.
Glad to have you back on the news. The Nigerian Army has announced the redeployment of some senior officers in the Defense and Army headquarters, as well as general officers commanding, including Operation Lafia Dole. According to a press statement issued by Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, Director Army Public Relations, the redeployment, which affects the Theater Commander Operation Lafia Dole, Force Commander Multinational Joint Task Force, sees Major General A.M. Diko taking over as Theater Commander, while Brigadier General A.O. Abdullahi as Acting Commander Sector 2, Operation Lafia Dole, and Brigadier General Yu Basse as Acting Commander Sector 3, Operation Lafia Dole. Others affected by the deployment are Major General C.O. Uday, posted as Force Commander, Multinational Joint Task Force Njad Mena, Major General J. Saham as General Officer commanding 6th Division, Major General E.B. Kabuk, General Officer commanding 82 Division, Major General M.S. Yusuf, General Officer commanding 81 Division, and Major General B.A. Akinroluyo as General Officer commanding 3 Division. The statement went on to reveal that among the principal state officers affected are Major General Leo Irabo, posted as Chief of Defense Training and Operations in the Defense Headquarters, while Major General L.O. Ajoshun takes over as Chief of Training and Operations at the Army Headquarters. Experts have advocated professional harmony and mutual work benefits as crucial benchmark for best organizational practice. The advocacy was the product of a media chart organized by the State Directorate of the National Orientation Agency, NOA, for media professionals in the state. Correspondent Daniel Ezekiel attended the media palais and now reports.
It was a convergence of expertise as both practicing and retired media strategists used the avenue to mull on issues of social imperatives and professional coexistence and profile solutions where necessary. In an opening remark, the chairman on the occasion and former director, News and Current Affairs of the Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, Sir Uche Udedibia, described the press as a powerful agent of social change and called for bridging cordiality between the news channels and the audience. Sir Udedibia, who said the occasion was remarkable for its necessity to mutual unification, commended the NOA for the forethought.
Get around to those who have promised us action. It will help us. I want a closer personal relationship in addition to interagency relationship.
Giving his keynote address, the state director of NOA, Barrister Charles Ngoji, said the event was meant to officially launch NOA activities and programs mapped out for the year, part of which remained the campus and out-of-school campaigns on cultism and drugs, noting that the program was specifically aimed at addressing the current deadly attacks and activities of cultists in the state. The managing director and chief executive officer of the ABS, Nze Uchenwora, who was represented by the director, News and Current Affairs, Mr. Gabe Obaleze, said the ABS was poised to working with agencies and organizations whose goals and ideologies are progressive and in the widest interest of Anambra.
We are trying to expand the horizon, leaving the traditional media, radio, TV only, to go online too, where the youths are. Because if you want to get the youth actually, and you keep talking about radio, television, you may not see them there.
Other experts who lent their voices to the discussion, including the state chairman of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, Comrade Emmanuel Ifesnachi, the managing director and chief executive officer of Anambra Newspapers and Printing Corporation, the producers of National Light Newspapers, Sir Choka Nnabuife, the general manager, Radio Nigeria, Purity FM, Oka, Mr. Gregory Odiakosa, amongst others, spoke on diverse issues affecting both groups and called for unique work method among agencies. In Oka, Daniel Ezigwe, ABS News.
Moving on, a visit to motor parks, major roads and other public places, especially in cities, will showcase children of various school ages engaged in one form of manual labor or the other. Ms. Lee Hawking. In this special report, our correspondent Gene Chukwuchukwuri focusing on the trend, its implications on the physical and psychological development of a child. His report.
A walk through Ekoka Market, Aroma Junction, Unizik Temporary Site, and a host of other places, one is bound to see a number of children hawking granite, roasted and cooked corn, sachet water, plantain chips, among others. At construction sites, farms and small-scale industries, children are also seen working as casual staff or apprentices, their tender ages notwithstanding. Expressing her view on the issue, the Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Professor Stella Okunna, noted that such situations cannot be absorbed in a society as Nigeria due to the economic reality of time, which has forced a lot of families struggling to survive. Hence, parents send their children into premature labor to support the family's economic status, especially during holidays. She, however, pointed that it is not right and urged parents, NGOs, churches, and community leaders to properly engage the children during the holiday to ensure physical and psychological holistic development of the child.
There are families where all hands must be on deck to make sure they are surviving, not even living comfortably, just surviving. So for many parents, those children cannot be off the street. We have to understand this. It may not be right. For me, it's not right. These are really children who are working. It's child labor. But for some families, there's nothing you can do about it.
For the head of Department Psychology, Unizik, Dr. Harry Obinwosu, who noted that apart from psychological effects of child labor, it also exposes the children to health hazards and risks of road accidents. He emphasized that children should be allowed to learn informally through activities that help their mental health within the family context.
The government should know full well that this period will have long vacation. There are a lot of children that may be on the street. They have to. Already the government in Anambra State, the government of Anambra State has started working with churches, missions and all that. This partnership should be increased at this point.
Some parents who spoke to the ABS, Mr. Roy Ekunife, Evangelist Maskon Mwasike, and Mrs. Ogochukwu Igbojuba, harped that child labor is not in any way healthy for the child, even though the economy of the country is not supportive, but urge parents to find other better avenues to make ends meet, while proper sanitation is important for parents in the rural areas by government and NGOs.
And on the foreign scene, an Indian woman has been detained after a dead infant was found on board a domestic flight from Guwahati in northeast India to the capital, Delhi. The cabin crew of the Air Asia flight found the baby minutes before the plane was supposed to land. They questioned all the female passengers aboard. Anna, a 19-year-old woman, admitted to having given birth to the baby on the plane. Senior police official Sanjay Bhatia told reporters she gave birth to a 7.5-month baby in the plane toilet and left it on the floor. He added that police were waiting for a postmortem report to find out how the baby had died. The woman, who is a taekwondo fighter, was not allowed to board her connecting flight to South Korea. Air Asia India issued a statement apologizing to guests experiencing disruptions in their flight schedule. And just before we go, a quick reminder that you can follow news and programs from any parts of the world by logging onto our website, www.ebsradiotv.com, like us at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And now the main points of the news again. State government has set aside 50 million naira to support ABS Film Academy as 27 graduate. Group has called for abolition of caste system in Igbo land. Senior officers in the Defense and Army headquarters have been redeployed. And on the foreign scene, Indian woman has been arraigned for carrying a dead baby into a plane. And that's it on the news tonight. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Chidinma Oranwa. Do have a wonderful night rest.